Good morning. We're in the office of Colonel John Saputo, who is the president of Gold Coast Eagle Distributing, which is the major Anheuser-Busch distributor on the west coast of Florida. John, as a leader, what qualities and characteristics do you look for from the graduates of the hospitality management programs?
That's a simple question. First off, I'm going to look for a very honest person. I'm going to look for a person that looks you in the eye, tells you what they're going to do, and actually does it, okay? I'm going to look for a person that is enthusiastic, because nothing gets done in this world without some form of enthusiasm, a gut check, a fire in the soul. Without that fire in the soul, you cannot be successful. Our society and our economy is so competitive, and it is so high-tempoed that without that fire in the soul and that dedication, you're never going to get it anywhere. So that's that main quality that I look for. And I can look into a person's eyes and see whether that fire is there and whether that dedication's there. And then I like to put some people through some tests. We have a recent graduate from your school that we have her in a testing mode at this particular point, and we are working her through the system, some of the toughest jobs, putting her in front of some of the most difficult customers that we have, and we're seeing how she holds up. And if she does, then we know she's going to have the backbone, the courage, and that's what it takes. It takes the principle of courage, because it's very tough in our industry or in the hospitality industry to, you know, you're only as good as your last delivery, or in a restaurant, you're only as good as your last meal that you put out. And the better you do, and the more you instill in your students the fact that you can't be a C player out here. You can't be a B player. You have to hit your game 100% every day. If my people miss one delivery, they could have made 1,000 of them perfect, but they miss one. That telephone call goes in and unravels everything that you did before. So you've got to have the courage to say, when you're tired, when you're exhausted, I'm gonna finish this job the way I did, just as I did at 9 o'clock this morning. Kelly, you've been with the company a while, and I want you to explain to our audience out there how you got into this industry.
Well, it's a funny story. One of my professors just kept hounding me on taking an internship with this great company, Anheuser-Busch, in the marketing and sales division. And so I did intern for a couple months, January through May. Decided that I really enjoyed the company and the industry, and came on full-time in June. And I've been working here for a while now.
Well, tell me about the title that you have right now. You actually have a business card. You're out of school. You've got a business card. You're getting a paycheck. You have your benefits. Tell me the title that we've given you.
I'm here at Gold Coast Eagle as Marketing and Sales Administration Specialist. To get to that point, you have to start from the ground up. It's very rare that you can just walk right into a position like that. And I started as an intern, just going around with a bunch of the drivers and merchandisers, just, you know, learning the basics, throwing beer like the gentleman, and building displays, getting in the coolers. Also, I've been working inside the warehouse as doing reports, analyzing surveys with our energy drinks, and helping with the marketing meetings.
You know, I like to say that in the beer business, it's very simple blocking and tackling, but we're advancing at a very rapid pace with technology. I want you to talk to that subject, if you would.
Okay, we have a great system that we use here at Gold Coast Eagle called Mobility, and I've just gotten into a lot of that training in that system. We can do many things with that. The gentlemen that go out and take orders can just punch into their computers and actually transmit it into us at the office, and we can take that information and generate it into analysis so that we can take that information and actually make something of it and kind of work with that and help our sales grow.
You know, I want you to comment about, you know, you're only a few months out of college, and we've got you worked into some pretty heavy and national programs. I want you to tell me how it feels to be part of some of the promotions that you've done with one of our other ladies that works here, Nancy. Tell them about the national programs that you've been involved with you know, Anheuser-Busch, that one of them, which was you guys had your picture in the New York Times Magazine.
Yes. When I worked with Nancy, that was an on-premise kind of account, which is restaurants, taverns, and bars. We went around to different bars and played rock, paper, scissors. That was a promotion that we did at many bars for about 4 months, and that really involved the young adults, the contemporary accounts. We also did the long ball challenge at sports bars, which was a Xbox game with baseball, and that really got the crowd going in there and really got them involved with everything. It's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
It's great. You've been involved in the off-premise, which is our convenience stores and grocery stores and whatnot. Comment a little bit about that, your experiences with that, and what you found fun and what you found very difficult.
Yes, it's an eye-opening experience, really, because you don't really know what the guys do out there on the field all day. You don't know that they throw cases of beer. They stock thousands and thousands of cases of beer. In some of these stores, you build huge displays. You have to constantly fill coolers and keep that stocked so that the consumer always has what they're looking for. It's fun. It gets very wearing, but you gotta love it.
It's a business of blocking and tackling, I like to say, but then it is very, very complicated and extremely challenging. And tell me where you see yourself fitting into my organization. You know, I'm a hard charger and I'm a pusher, and I'm going to own more distributorships than this. Where do you want to be with me in 10 years?
Well, personally, I like to bounce around. I like to be involved in a lot of the different things. I wouldn't mind, you know, going back and forth between on-premise and off-premise, being, you know, learning more things within the company. Therefore, I'm cross-trained. I can do things if you need that to be done.
Well, that's great. We've got a lot of faith in you. We're putting a lot of time. We're investing a lot of effort. And, you know, I want you to tell the young people out there that are getting their college degrees that there's industries like this, that they've got to start on the ground floor, and make a comment to them about that.
Yes. You really got to work hard. You have to take your degree seriously, kind of take each little part of it and just work it within, you know, the job that you really want to have. You have to, you know, just take a bunch of parts and really work with it.
You know, there's our industry is evolving very, very quickly. As I mentioned before, women are almost consuming 40% of the beer products that are out there right now, and it's very important for me as a business owner to get your perspective on what we're doing to attract and hold female consumers.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm a big consumer of Mick Ultra. I love the taste. I love how light it is. The different flavored beers are nice to mix it up a little bit. It's nice that we're finally expanding a little bit, and I know that we're going to be expanding a lot more.
Well, that's great. And Kelly, we're going to redo this interview in 10 years, and we'll see where you're at in 10 years. I got a lot of faith, and we're putting a lot of investment in you, and we know you're going to do well. Our core consumer is individuals 21 to 35, okay? And there's something happens to somebody after they're 35, my kids like to say you're not cool anymore. And you have to surround yourself by some of the young people that are showing you and can tell you about some of the trends and the cultural changes that are happening, or else your product is going to get stale. And brands that are of a national significance, like our Anheuser-Busch brands like Budweiser, that's been around since 1877, 1891 for the Michelob brand. Those brands that have been around that long have to be reinvented almost every generation, okay? Another good example of reinventing themselves, we change our campaigns on our Budweiser products and our Bud Light products probably about every 10 years. And another perfect example of it is what Cadillac's doing with their with some of their cars. I mean, there's a brand that was old and staid, a car brand, and that you thought about it. You thought about your fat old uncle smoking a cigar and laid back, could barely get in and out of his car. But now you've got beautiful actors and actresses that are advertising these things, and Cadillac completely reinvented themselves, and they have themselves now positioned for the next 25 or 30 years. And that's the trick. And the fun thing in my industry is to surround myself with some of these young people that see these trends, that understand that a promotion like rock, paper, scissors that we did with our Bud Light brand is going to be fun, or an electric football game in a promo that we might do in a bar, or to even tell us that, hey, let's take some beers and let's put some flavor in them. Let's put a Tuscan orange or a grapefruit in a Michelob Ultra, or let's put a lime cactus in. Corona, our Corona brand, one of the symbols of our Corona brand is a lime in the Corona. That was invented by some young people on the beach that just wanted that freshness of the lime, and they invented an entire new culture for us with the beer business.